Hey guys, welcome to lesson 8 of the acoustic lessons. Last lesson it was with me and Billy, and we went over Set a Fire, and we are kind of transitioning from the chords in the key of G to strumming and actually being able to play songs. So if you're watching this video, I'm considering that you know all the chords in the key of G and you can strum through them with no fret noise or no buzz in all your strings. So today we're going to be really breaking down some techniques and start really working on strumming, so hopefully in a couple weeks you guys are playing some songs. Okay, first off, I want to introduce to you guys, which I'm sure you've heard of, a pick. Okay, now attached to this lesson below is going to be a YouTube video on a guy I trust a lot on how to hold a pick. Now, I've been playing guitar for 4 years now, and I'm now realizing that I have been holding the pick wrong all along. Okay, so the way I hold it, okay, it's kind of like 2 fingers out, 2 fingers in, with my thumb on the back side of it. Okay, the way you are supposed to hold it is you're supposed to kind of make a fist like this, then your pick go in there. Okay, and what that does, it's supposed to help with the tone of the guitar. Okay, so I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm not going to be very strict on how you hold your pick right now. It depends on you, what feels comfortable to you, and that matters right now, because right now we're breaking down strumming, and I want to start from the get-go on using a pick. In my spare time, I'm going to work on strumming a guitar like this, but I've played multiple services like this, and I don't think there's necessarily anything wrong with that. Okay, so just kind of figure out how I would suggest that you watch that video and decide how you want to hold your pick. If I teach you my way, okay, it's going to be kind of loose. You don't want to hold it tight. You want to be very loose with it. Okay, I would suggest you get a very flimsy pick. Okay, don't get a really hard pick. It's going to be hard for you to learn that way. Get a flimsy pick, and if you don't have one, let me know. I can give you one. Okay. So, in this lesson, I'm going to kind of move this down here. First, I want to introduce to you guys what we call a metronome, or a click. We use it in all our services. So when we start breaking down strumming, I want to go ahead and get you guys familiar with what a metronome is. So I'm going to play one really quick. So the way that works is it's keeping us on time. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, and you kind of hear that odd sound on the 1 to let you know when it's counting over. So if we're in a service and I go chorus 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, okay, so that's how that works. Okay, so when we practice, I want you guys to use that. Okay, and I'm going to show you how. In this lesson, I'm going to give you 3 chord progressions that cover all the chords that we have learned so far. Okay, and if you look in your notebook, they're going to be in there. So I'm just going to play through them really quick with no click. And I would suggest that you start off by going through these 3 chord progressions without a click. Okay, just very quickly, so the chords are, for the first progression, is G, C, E minor, C. Okay, you kind of see, you're not trying to do it very loud. Like, I just want you to get a good even stroke. Okay, so G, C, E minor, C is your first progression. Your second one is G, D over F sharp, E minor, C. Okay, Then your third progression is A minor, B minor, C, D. Okay, and if you're having trouble changing your chords, to break it really down, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Switch, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so my metronome, and also in the comments below, I'm also going to, for all my iPhone users, I'm going to put a link to the to an app of a metronome that I use. It's really easy to change the BPMs on it to how fast and slow it goes. Download that. Android users, obviously that's not going to work for you, but if you go to your app store and just type in metronome, you should be able to find one that is going to work for your phone. Okay, so 130 BPM. Okay, and it sounds like this. All right, so what I want you to do with these 3 progressions, I want you to go. So we're going to do the strums half time. So if I did them full time, it would be like. Right? We're not going to do that. We're going to do half time. So it's going to. Okay, and if that's kind of weird to you where it's 130, okay, you can do, you can change your BPM to half of 130, right, which is 65, and it's going to be on every down strum that you make. So it's going to be like this. So it's going to go. Okay, now to me that's a little bit harder because there's a lot of space in between those. So if I was you, I would start out doing 130. Okay. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to spend a lot of time on these 3 progressions, okay? Because what it's going to do, it's just going to give you some practice time, getting you used to strumming, okay? And it's also going to be working your fingers, going through every chord that you know in the key of G. And it's going to be working on your fingers, switching chords between strums, okay? And just working those fingers really good. So, you have your 3 progressions. We're going to start working with the click, okay, at 130. And I'll do it at 140, but what I want you to do is I want you to work your way up to being able to do this lesson, not at 130, that's our starting point, but I want you to work your way up to doing it at 140. So I know it sounds time consuming, but like if I learn something different on drums or even guitar, like I'll start at 130. When I get 130, all the way through on 3 progressions, go to 132 BPMs. Boom, 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 boom. All 3 progressions, all the way through. Then go to 134. And just keep working your way up, and then before you know it, you're going to be able to do these progressions, 4 strums a piece at 140. Okay? So what I want to do is I'm going to turn on this metronome, and I'm going to play through all 3 progressions, okay, with the metronome. And I want you to play along with me at 130 just to kind of get the feel of how it's going to work, okay? And then you can, and if you have to, you can go back to this and just continue to play with me until you get it yourself, okay? So, here we go. So we're going to start with the first progression, which is G, C, E minor, C, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4. going to play through that one more time. Now we're going to end on the 1, or on the G, okay? So, we've got the first progression down. Let's move to the second progression, which is G, D over F sharp, E minor, C. So I'll count us in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Going back to the G. Let's do through it one more time. Let's go back to the G to end it. Okay, so that's the second progression. So let's go to the third, which is A minor, B minor, C, D. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do it again. A minor, D. Now we're going to end on the G just to end it. Okay? So, your practice now, and in your notebook I'm going to have each progression labeled, okay? And I want you to go through this. I want you to go through this, and I want you to just continue working on these 3 progressions, 4 strums apiece on each chord, at 130 until you feel comfortable. Then I want you to move to 132, then 134, all the way up to 140. And when I'll just play, so I'll play the first progression at 140 to show you what it's going to sound like. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that's what it's going to sound like. And after you accomplish that with all 3 progressions, then move to lesson 9. Awesome. Thanks.